Salutations, my wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Unsolved. With me, I have Kellen, who plays Richard Barden.
Richard Barden, reporting for duty. Dude.
And then we have Michael, who is playing Gene Franklin.
Hello.
He's very grumpy normally, but he seems to be somewhat not grumpy right now. And finally, we have Brienne, who plays Leslie Hart.
PhD.
Of course.
Pretty hot detective. Huh?
Dr. Leslie Hart. I didn't get my PhD for nothing. So, it's been a while since we played, so if we sound like we don't know what we're talking about, that is why. But, I have my notes, and I just need to see where we faded last time so that I can go from there. Oh yeah, yeah, you had fun times with everyone playing with a coin. Alright, yeah. You've all... So, before we get started, because I'm remembering that some of you managed to increase some skills, perhaps. Oh, wait. Wow, they've... Oh, wait, that's not the right part. That's the character sheet. Library use for Leslie Hart has been checked, so we can roll for an increase on that.
Yay!
So let's start with you, Leslie.
Okie dokie.
How well can Leslie read? We will find out now.
No, we're not gonna roll 100.
That would be kind of cheating. Alright, you get to increase your library use.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna default by the fact that you can roll a d10 and add that. Because I used to have it so that like the first time you increase it, you get a d10 and then every time after that a d6, but like I can't remember which ones have been increased and not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure library use has not for me.
Yeah.
But...
Either way, I'm just gonna use a d10, and when you reach above, like if you reach 90, like everything, like if you reach 90, that's like your cap. Like
right.
The last roll will be like anything below 90, and once you hit 90, you can't improve that skill anymore. That's my home rule for it, at least.
Okay.
So you can with difficulty get 99% in the skill. Alright, does Gene... Yes, Gene actually gets to increase two things. Let's start with listen, because he's so good at that.
No. Yay!
Alright, you get to increase listen. By wow, God. 7 and 7. So, Leslie went from... Did you both go to 36 in library use and listen? God, you both got, like, increased the exact same number. And then spot hidden.
No.
No, you do not increase spot hidden. You rolled a 7. So many 7s. And Kellen, will you increase anything? If we go by the norm, the answer's gonna be a clear no. Because you never actually get any. No, you don't get increase anything because you never succeed on anything.
Oh no, I succeed. I just never crit, it seems, and so therefore I never get to get.
Actually, that's not true. You crit just on like characteristic rolls, which does absolutely nothing for you.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just here to role play and watch my dice fail at my good role play.
Yeah. I want to be good, Dad. No, you won't. Don't. Okay.
Please, sir, may I have a roll? Oh, God. Anyway.
So, last time when we left our agents, let's see what they were up to. In the session just before that, they had not reconvened yet. Jean and Leslie were together, and let's see, and Richard and Lisa were had just been admitted to to the hospital for a moment to deal with what they thought was possible poisoning, or at least hallucinations, and that session ended. That ended with them. That ended. Oh wait, I'm mixing up things almost. So, what happened last time was that Jean and Leslie managed to finish up their investigation at Herald Express, at least as well as they could, and later reconvened at the police station. No wait, oh god, I'm at the wrong fading point. God damn it. I need to mark these better. Now I know where it is. Alright. Sorry about that.
Go get it and post edit.
You say that, but I will definitely forget. Alright, so last time we faded, Jean and Leslie managed to find a small strange coin in the safe at the Herald Express, along with a tiny pocket police revolver and some documents containing information on some payments to Halls, Underwood, and a few other people. Interestingly enough, this coin became kind of a cornerstone of that entire session. The coin had 8 strange corners to it, and it seemed to have very strange connections to the occult, as Leslie liked to think. They reconvene at the police station, meeting up with Richard, where they learn that Halls has been murdered, and his throat, wrists, and ankles had been cut, and he'd been drained of all his blood while he was under in police custody at his own house, and his eyes had been replaced with round gemstones, a ruby and a sapphire. They also discover, after going through the documents, that Aggie Underwood was working for William Randolph as one of his that's it. No, that's just a fact that you guys were talking about. Herp. That's reading the notes. Let's see. They all discovered that the coin had some strange symbol that that none of them could pinpoint, and thus decided to kind of fiddle around with it. Now, having some experience with the having a little bit more experience with the occult than the rest of them, in a way that he didn't, Richard tried to warn everyone not to screw around with the coin, an advice that everyone ignored, even himself. It ended up with all of them, at some point during the session, manhandling this coin and having their psyches kind of thrown about. After the very excruciating day, they rest for the night and reconvene the next day, learning that Lisa, due to all of the events of the few days, had taken some time to recover properly. They learned that this coin is probably something called a keystone, which is some sorts of cult-like artifact. And and they discovered that Aggie Underwood at some point owned a brooch that looked very similar to this keystone that they had just found. They seek out the assistance of a man called Professor Harriet Quinn, an archaeologist at UCLA, and they learn a few things about this. They learn the information about the keystone, learning that this stone, this strange coin, has a very long history, being a coin very similar to it, at least, having been spotted, having been found in the ownership of Hitler. They also learned that William Randolph and Aggie Underwood at some point visited Professor Quinn to get the same information on this coin. And it was just around this time when they were leaving UCLA that we faded. And this is where we will rejoin our agents. That was a very long recap, but that's because everyone is kind of vague on what happened last time, because we had yet to check up on what we did. Everyone forgot to take notes except for me. But I kind of need to take notes. So.
Better this time.
I'm just waiting for another one of those eat this kind of note. I will never forget that.
No.
Alright, so now we're caught up. What did we decide to do next?
You hadn't decided what you were gonna do next. You were you had gotten all of the information from Professor Quinn, and you were still kind of lost about what to do with the information, but you had started theorizing that the coin you had was the same coin Hitler had in his possession at least it was so similar to the coin he had in the picture that you guys saw.
I do remember one thing that I did request right at the very end of the session now. Since that professor had so much information, was such a knowledgeable person, I did recommend that we call in like a patrolman to watch over him while we were working, because he's, that's a lot of info for someone to have. Identities.
Yeah, I remember that. You wanted to get a patrol car set up, and you already called, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So
because Leslie, I believe, I talked to Leslie about that, and he agreed.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly, but I thought we were able to confirm that the Hitler coin wasn't the same as the one we had.
I wasn't sure whether or not you had confirmed it. You were just you were theorizing whether or not it was. Is what I remember.
I know we have two sets of symbols that are similar but different. I don't remember where the other set came from. I thought it was from the other coin, but I'm not sure.
Where did I put the, I sent you pictures of this thing. I don't remember where I put the actual, tickets, where I wrote those symbols on. There they are. The second set of symbols was on a note that Horals had.
Okay.
It was the 8-cornered coin, which had a separate set, and then there was the secret Horals note that you guys found, which had nothing but these symbols on it. Which, if I remember correctly, Horals said was a reference to it was kind of like a GPS location thing, just not.
Got it.
It was like, at least it wasn't words. It's at least what he had theorized.
Right.
Because I thought we had said that where we were starting to head down the path that they were Stargate symbols.
Yeah, that is kind of the gate. That is kind of what you guys were heading towards. I remember that. I remember that discussion that you were like, oh, we're in Stargate. So it's mostly a matter like it's just really up to you guys where you guys want to head, direct your investigation now. You followed your biggest lead was Professor Quinn, and since you've talked to him, and you got a bunch of information from that.
I mean, our two biggest suspects now, we've got their names. Like, in my opinion, what do you guys think?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
I think we've got people to bring in for questioning, or at least to go investigate.
Yeah, I mean, as you would remember, let's see. I need to be sure about a little bit of the information here. You guys would remember that Underwood at least was found. You guys found the body of Underwood, at least.
Now, was it the body of Underwood, or was that just what the report said?
That is what the report said, at least. I remember you guys starting to question that last time.
It's the assumption we're going under, but we don't actually have confirmation of that.
Yeah.
So it's one of two things. Either Underwood faked death and these two are, obviously in league with each other, or they were in league with each other and the other person killed Underwood. Well, if we're going along the lines of they're our biggest suspects, I'm not saying that that's my certainty, but that's my thinking here.
Right. That's pretty much where my brain's been at as well.
So
I look to Gene and I say, what do you think we should do?
I don't know. It sounds like a reasonable path forward with everything we have in front of us.
Well, I say we go make ourselves an arrest or investigate some more. Bring in for questioning, if anything.
We have quite enough proof for an arrest.
A lot of your you have a lot of speculations, but no actual proof towards them. Like,
right.
You guys would know that you do not have enough proof to hold them. At least you don't have anything that could tie them properly to the case.
Well, if Underwood is still alive, then that at least is a fake death, and that would be grounds for bringing in for questioning on her. But yeah, you're right about the other person. So now it's just a matter of investigating and find out what we can on them. As far as I know, faking your death is still supposed to be illegal, right?
Yeah. So it's mostly a matter. It's mostly a question of whether or not you can find Underwood and prove that, or just prove that she's not dead, and find her. That is.
Right.
If she is alive, that is.
Mm-hmm. And if she really is dead, then there is a suspect involved, possibly with her murder, and someone we can talk to. And where were you on the night of so and so? Blah blah blah. That whole thing. And if we find this other person.
Yeah.
So reasonable suspicion or whatever that rule is. I forget the actual law. We don't. It's not necessarily making an arrest, but it is bringing in for questioning because there is.
Yeah, you could. You guys would definitely be able to bring them in for questioning, but overall, you would probably be like lack. You would probably lack proper, like, you could not make an arrest, at least with the information you would have right now.
Right. Well, so how do we find this other person? So Underwood's supposed to be dead, so obviously we need to probably go down the path of finding. What was the name of the other person?
It was William Randolph, which is the he is, if I remember correctly, the president of Herald Express.
Randolph.
Yeah.
It's probably about time we show up at his door.
Yeah. I think going to him is probably better than bringing him in for questioning. We might find more information out of his place of residence.
Oh, I'm completely fine with it. I'm just saying that I was talking sort of like official police business type stuff. But yeah, if we want to play it that way, that's completely fair. Like, two people talk, someone snoop around in the house.
I mean, even if we play it legit, he is potentially connected to this, and the secretary's a bit of a bitch. I mean,
according to his secretary, Sarah Lindell, he was having health problems, which is why he hadn't been in the office since the beginning of the year, or at least since like a little bit before the beginning of the year, if I remember correctly. Whether or not she's lying, however, you're not certain.
I don't trust a damn thing that came out of that woman's mouth. But
I think that might be slightly through tinted glasses.
probably. And
Nothing.
Yeah, I think many of Jean's decisions are sometimes made through the tinted glasses of judgment, which is just, that's typical Jean. We all know that, man.
is this a problem yet?
No, not yet. But who knows? Maybe it will be.
Don't make me take my badge out again.
Wow, that like, oh boy, keep your badge in your pants.
It's in my jacket.
It's a figure of speech. Now, it's just so you guys want to try to figure out where William lives, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, that's not what I wanted to do. So,
Do we have to look it up in a phone book? And we'll find that.
I mean, you would have to look it up in a phone book, but it's not like it would take 50 years to do it. There. But yeah, you can look it up in a phone book. It would not take you a very long time to figure that out. To figure out where he lives. Let's see. He currently, after you find a phone book, you use one of the phone books in the at UCLA, and you kind of flip through it to try to figure out where he lives. Now, what can I see? Let's see. Now, I wasn't sure if he lived here or not, so I'm just gonna make sure of that first. Um, mm, 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 mm. Alright, you would know that he owns a property called Hearst Castle, which is actually a historic landmark nowadays. Not during the not when this story happens.
He's actually landed gentry.
No landed gentry in America.
But yeah, the
More so than you, I think.
yeah, he seems to have he actually seems to have lived there. And he is yeah. So yeah, you would know that he owns he owns property called the Hearst Castle, which is I want to see where it is. That's pretty far away. It is in California. Yeah, the nearest city is San Simeon, California.
So what, does he commute in every day?
No, you would know that he's probably away, like probably there since he got sick.
All right.
He also owns a like a pretty big mansion within Los Angeles, which within Los Angeles, which you could also check out.
I assume we'd probably stop in there first, just in case.
Yeah.
No reason to go out to the boonies.
Yeah.
And have them go, no, he's actually in town. It's like, shit, we wasted all that time.
And
So you go there. When you head over there, you see that the estate grounds seem to be mostly seem to have been mostly untouched for a while. You find it, and from basically just kind of gauging, like looking at it, you would think that either nobody's been taking care of the place for a while, or nobody's just been here for a while. Like the place is kind of seems to be unattended. Whether or not that is the case, however, is an entirely different point.
I go. I assume. Wait, which car had we taken?
You have a
Police car?
police car that you've been driving.
Yeah. So.
Oh, we just had just a standard black car, like unmarked.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a black car. It was just what is it called? Just a civilian vehicle, basically. It's just I think we had a picture of the car. Oh no, that's the car that Bruno's car. Yeah, you have just a very. You could have basically whatever like unmarked car you would need. Yeah, I'm kind of
Right,
black.
who's driving?
I remember you guys at least. You applied for a police vehicle an unmarked police vehicle. So it's really up to you how the car looks, what kind of car it was. I remember, it was a Plymouth. You had a blue Plymouth that you were driving.
We're not doing anything crazy. I'll drive us there.
Alright.
If you do anything crazy, somebody else has to take the wheel because you don't know how to drive crazy. Actually, you know how to drive surprisingly well compared to... Wait, Leslie... Yeah, so compared to
I
Leslie...
think I'm actually the best driver.
Yeah, you are, it seems.
No.
Yeah, you are the best driver. Who would have thought? Yes, so you guys are gonna drive to Hearst Castle. Alright. You would... It is around noon when you guys basically finished up at the UCLA, and it would be at that day and age, I would expect like at least almost a 5-hour drive. I would expect like an hour more than it would be nowadays.
We got a slow car.
Cars back then, like, you could drive pretty fast with it.
And have you seen the gas prices lately? They're up as far as 20 cents a gallon.
Yeah, and it's fucking expensive, man. And also, just, you do not want to crash these cars. That is guaranteed death.
Well,
Oh, no,
actually,
the car's
because
fine, though.
the old cars, they're made of like pure steel. So
Oh yeah,
it's actually better to crash in those.
yeah. I forgot that. But yeah,
No, with those steel undercarriages, the car walks away. You might not, but the car does.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's fine. You're...
But yeah, it's around 250 mile. It's a 250 mile drive, give or take, and it takes about 4 hours to drive. 4 to 5 hours.
Oh yeah, we're stopping for a bite to eat.
Yeah, so 5 hours.
We found a taco truck.
Yes, you found a taco truck in like the middle of nowhere. It's like a single truck in a field.
No, you guys aren't thinking of this right. This is back in the day of the truck driver, the old-fashioned truck stops. Oh yeah, hamburger, fries, and a milkshake.
Oh my God, you're stopping at a truck stop.
Oh yeah, truck stop restaurants. Hell yeah.
All right.
Best
So,
coffee.
is there anything special you guys want to do on the way to Hearst Castle?
I don't think so.
No, other than stopping to make sure we are fed. Gas up.
So, you begin driving, and about 2 and a half hours, and you stop to eat some proper lunch, and you continue to drive ahead. As you let's see, I'm gonna look at the roads here. So as you kind of start to head down Highway 46, which leads to Hearst Castle, I'd like all of you to roll, at least Richard, because Richard's driving. unless you guys are like looking out the window or chatting, like, what are you doing in the car?
So I'm still having the claustrophobia, so my window's down, and I'm looking out the window.
Okay, yeah. So you would also get this spot hidden. Richard would get the spot hidden. I'm guessing Gene is doing everything he can not to look at mirrors, the mirrors.
I'm pondering the existence of the coin and.
Yeah. So yeah, you are not looking around, so you do not get this check. How'd you get 121?
Yeah, I'm very curious.
I don't know.
That should be impossible.
Yeah, I'm focused on the road.
Yeah, you're driving. You're just not noticing this.
Hit it again. Okay.
I believe I succeed. I don't know. If
As you sit in the car, you're kind of leaning your head out the window just to kind of not to avoid your claustrophobia. Your eyes kind of start to dart down at the mirror, side view mirror, and something seems to catch your eye. So you you kind of sit up properly and you look at it and look at it from a proper angle, and you notice that there's a car driving up behind you, and it's a black unmarked vehicle. And
does it have plates?
Is it a what?
Does it have license plates?
No.
Well, does that have armor plating?
No.
But you do.
There's
It is a completely unmarked car.
So there are no license plates.
Yeah. That is not the biggest problem right now. You see, the thing that catches your immediate attention is that in the seat behind where the driver would be, the windows are tinted. You see the window being screwed down, and a pistol being aimed out at your car. And you hear a gunshot. Let's see.
So only she hears the gunshot? Is that the...
No. Everyone hears the gunshot. But
We're all listening to that.
But she is the only one that saw it coming.
I didn't have time to react at all.
You can react. You basically saw the unmarked car, and when you saw the car.
It takes that all the time to crank down a window, though.
But
yeah.
That's a dude cranking down a window.
Yeah, I'm seeing a car following us that's cranking down its window in January.
So basically, you're noticing, you notice the car, and when you notice the car, the window's already being cranked down, and
but I believe I have time to tell Richard.
Yeah, you have time to do stuff. A single action.
All right. I would definitely tell Richard to look. Draw his attention to it. We got a car following us. It's cranking down its window.
Do you look out Richard, do you look into the rearview mirror to see what is behind you?
Oh yeah, now.
Here, as you look, you hear the gunshot, which startles all of you. You see the car just before you hear the gunshot, and let's see. And you hear, and you just hear you see the rear window just shatters and You all just reactively just.
She hit the back of the head with a bullet.
Whew. No, you all managed. You all like react with just managed to with your reflexes just to kind of buckle down, and you don't get hit by the bullet. But there is someone shooting at you right now, so.
All right.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
So I get out my gun. It's going to be.
Oh, can you repeat that? You.
I take out my gun.
All right. Picking up your gun as you hear as the first bullet passes you. I'm guessing you're gonna turn around, turn and aim and shoot.
I'm going to take an extra moment to survey whether I should either shoot out my own window or shoot through our broken back window.
Alright, so as that is happening, I'm gonna look at all of your dexterities, because that's what matters for this. 15, 12, and 11. So
Weird shit.
So Leslie got to react because Leslie saw what was about to happen, but the round will be so car chase.
I can shotgun okay.
You have a shotgun with
I
you?
can shotgun okay.
I've mentioned it a few times.
Did you bring it to see the professor is the problem?
Would I have just left it in the car is the real question.
Likely it's in the trunk.
Likely it's in the trunk. Did the back seats drop down?
Well,
They do on yes, they do. If I remember correctly, I know I know the make of this car pretty well. But yes, you should be able to drop the seats down, but it's very convoluted to do it.
I've done the maneuver before. Out of game, it sucks.
Mm-hmm. So the initiative order is going to be. The initiative order is going to be unmarked car, Richard, Jean, and Leslie. And it is basically by your dexterity. So also if you take like this is just to simplify things. This is so but as Leslie takes some time to kind of like take in the situation. So you can roll a spot hidden to see, like, if you want to try to see anything extra, or
Can I roll something that's not spot hidden? Because my spot hidden's not good.
it really depends on what you want to do. You are biding your time for something, right?
I'm just seeing which would be the easier shot. That should be fairly obvious.
Yeah, that should be.
Because it's a judgment call.
Yeah, that you would think that shooting out of the side window next to you would give you a clearer aim at the other car. Sure, because the back window of the Plymouth is pretty small.
All right. Then I would shoot out my window.
All right.
And not like I'd aim at the as best I can. Aim at the driver's.
All right.
Part of the windshield.
All right. So you'll just roll a handgun on this, and basically he will just get to do his drive auto to
No.
try to avoid this instead of dodge, because you know.
Yeah,
driving.
not even close.
Yeah, you fire your gun and the bullet goes wide, not even hitting the car. You just see it kind of like hit the street close to the car, just. And as you do this, another shot comes your way. You just hear, as you shoot, you go out of the window, shoot, and as you shoot, you get a bullet straight into your shoulder, and you just kind of buckle it back into the car and cover. And let's see, need to get the book. Out of all the things I did not have up, the book was one of them. Alright. And, yeah, you kind of recoil back into the car, kind of gripping your shoulder. It was a pretty clean hit. There, the page before. It is a D8 that I'm rolling on you. I will roll it in here. You get shot and you take 6 damage in the shoulder as you kind of recoil back into the car.
Damn.
And it is Richard who gets to act now.
Alright, I need to know a couple things before I make my decisions.
Alright.
Road we're on. Are we on a straight road? Scenery? That.
It is it's a straight road it's a straight scenic route basically.
Okay.
You're on a highway.
Okay. Alright, on a highway. Is it a divided highway or is it like old school since it's back in the 50s?
It's old school.
Classic. Okay. Trees.
Not there. No. Let's see.
Straight open area.
Yeah, it's a straight open area. It's kind of hilly about where you're coming to. You're basically you're basically just on. If you would look at a map, you are where like Keck's Corner is. It's a part of the road, which is just basically a bunch of fields and stuff around you.
Low rolling hills, fields, no
Yeah.
trees. Gotcha. And pretty straight road at the moment. Okay.
Yeah. You would, but like soon there comes there are a bit of twists and turns. But you're currently on a straight road.
All right. So, first words out of my mouth before I make my decision is, Gene, handgun in my shoulder mount, mags in my belt, and I gas it.
Alright, so I'm guessing you want to take evasive maneuvers?
Yes, I am performing evasive maneuvers.
Alright, I just want you to roll a, drive auto.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna make it a lot harder to hit you guys. If you succeeded, that is.
God damn it. Come on, rolls. Just give me this one. Yes!
Oh! You would have failed if you had not have 35 in drive auto. Oh my god, you made it! Alright, this will make all of the other all of the hand rolls to hit you guys. They get like a hefty penalty on it. But this will also make it like a little bit harder for you guys to hit. but since you are the target that's kind of moving and they are kind of still comparatively, it's a lot easier for you to aim. But it would be a lot harder to hit you guys. You would see that the car that they are driving, it's a much sleeker and lighter looking car. So you would think that it's probably faster than your car.
That's fine. I just need to get us to where the road starts twisting and turning. That's my goal at the moment. And
Yeah.
I told Gene where my gun's at, so he can grab it.
Gene, it is your turn. As Richard tells you what to do and puts
If he
the pedal
wants
to the metal.
So I want to sort of stand up in the car, reach for his pistol, and at the same time drop the seat behind me so that I can get at my shotgun eventually.
Alright, I will allow you to do this. I'm 100% okay with that. I want you, however, to roll a just... since it's tight corners, I want you to roll a dexterity versus strength roll here. It's gonna be 12 versus... So, the D, you need to roll below 40 and below on a dexterity check. Oh! So,
Can I luck that one?
you can use your luck on that one.
I can't remember how I do that one.
So you just, the only thing you do is you roll luck and see if you just succeed on your luck roll. That means you will succeed this check. But as mentioned way before, you can only request one luck roll per game.
So one more roll.
Yeah, you can just roll one more time with luck. Well, that's a lot worse. However, you did not fail horribly, so what happens is you kind of stand up and it's very difficult kind of maneuvering in there, so you, with much difficulty, you manage to grab Richard's pistol, and when you're about to like pop down the back of the seat, it pops off but kind of gets stuck, and you're just kind of trying to like pull on it a little bit, trying to get it down. You'll just, unless you want to like do anything, like take this time to shoot, you can use the rest of your time to just kind of like force it down.
No, I'm totally using the rest of my time to force that seat down.
Alright, so you force the seat down with just... It doesn't require a lot of effort, it just requires like a little bit like of just putting your weight into it and just like kind of... You know when you're trying to close a trunk that won't completely close? It's kind of that. So you're like just kind of jamming it down. And it's back to you, Leslie. As you hear Gene kind of just trying to slam down this the back of the seat, just like.
Unfortunately, this is not the first time I've been shot.
No, it is not.
So I'm gonna try and grit through the pain and make another. I'm gonna shoot at the car again.
All right, go for it.
Ah, damn it!
The bullets.
I was only like 4 away.
The bullet
How
scrapes
bad?
the side of the other car, and you just hear like the see the sparks fly as the bullet passes, and you manage to recoil back into the car.
Shotgun it would have hit.
I have a 40 in shotgun.
Why is my
Oh!
gun so poor?
Don't you have like an 80 and punch it in the face?
Yes.
Okay.
So Kellen.
So why don't you pull over? I can
Rick-
punch them in the face.
Richard,
Yes.
as you are driving, you get shot. I rolled on my dice a 0-1.
No, you didn't.
Well, he's dead.
no, you didn't. You
GM, fudge that roll.
so, you are getting shot, and not a lot of places are available for you to get shot in, other than the head. Since this
My
is
shoulders.
Using
So-
those.
so
Exactly. Depending
Like-
on what, my evasive driving, I could have been slightly sideways. Maybe it got me into the
let's see how slightly sideways you will be, because this is gonna be this will be, because it's going to be a surprise hit in your, and it's in your head. I'm just gonna roll.
I have a great roll with evasive maneuvers, and you go and you shoot me with a crit. This is bullshit.
Oh.
Alright, let's do it.
So, the bullet just hits you straight in the neck, and you just like, oh! And it just passes straight through. And you just, like, instinctively grab your neck, and you took 8 points of damage, which means that you are at 3 hit points. Which is, yeah, there. And, like, it doesn't seem, like, you seem to have been lucky enough for the bullet to have passed, like, just through your neck, but not, like, through any of your, like, main arteries. Like, you're bleeding a lot, but you count yourself very lucky for not, like, being bleeding profusely out of your wound.
Question, left or right side of my neck? I'm just asking for.
It is the right side of your neck.
Okay, so I'm driving my left arm. That's how I drive anyway. So I still got my primary arm to drive. God damn.
Because you have PTSD, and a big reason of that, because of that, is you were shot once before. Let's see.
PTSD is actually a benefit in combat situations.
Oh yeah. I'm back in the war, baby.
Yeah. I want you to roll Sandy for me to see if you see what's gonna happen.
You fuck.
Really? Okay. Let's see how much of a soldier I just became. Yeah. 0 successes. I mean,
You fuck.
You're
I'm rolling at 25 or less, guys. I mean, what the hell do you expect of me?
I expect Rambo crazy person.
What do you guys expect from me? So you will. So as the kind of the pain starts to kind of take over, your mind starts to kind of buckle back, like trace back towards your days as a soldier, and your kind of fragile mindset becomes hardened as it was once back in the day. You take a single point of sanity damage, but you're a soldier man now.
Just let me know when it's my turn.
It is your turn right now.
All right, you crouch shitheads. It's time to go down as I slam on the brakes and wait for him to hit my car.
Oh, so that's
My car's heavier.
it is. So you slam on the brakes. I want.
Sorry, guys.
I want both Jean and Leslie to just roll dodge for me, because I want to see you guys just kind of see if you manage to kind of save yourselves from getting like hit, hurting yourself a lot in the.
That one's hers.
I am fine.
So
Thank you.
Leslie,
By the
you
way-
can check your dodge, because that's a crit.
Sweet.
My dodge.
Gene is not going to be fine. So, the car just comes to a screeching halt, and just before you manage to even completely come to a stop, the other car just slams. Like it was a little bit like to your side, so the left corner of the left front corner of the other car hits your the right left the back of the I can't speak. I'm dumb. It hits the back side of your car on the right side. So your car just kind of spins to the side, and the other car behind you just kind of, and you see the guy that was the guy that is driving the other car, and the guy sitting next to him. They just fly out of the car, just through the windshield, and just like. The guy in the driver's seat hits the back, like the where the window and the panel is of the car. It just hits there full force, and you hear and Gene, you hear this audibly, like this cracking sound when this guy hits the car, and the other guy flies out of the car, kind of onto the highway, and just rolls on the floor, on the ground, and just is lying there seemingly unconscious.
In my head, I'm going to ass first out the front window. Because I figure I've taken the seatbelt off if there even was one.
There was no
There's no seatbelt belt. So,
to try to get
Gene,
back down, I'm going out that front window.
Gene, you do fly. You do fly, Gene. You've learned this skill with the aid of a car crash. So, as you hear this sound, you notice yourself already flying through the air, and Leslie and Richard, you see Gene just kind of fly past you guys and just smacking into the front windshield and just hitting the hood of the car and just rolling off. And this hurts a lot.
Can I make a roll on my way out that in my flailing I take it with me?
You can take what?
He wants to take Richard's hat off his head.
More or less, I start flailing as I start heading for the
window. Roll...
I take Richard's hat on my way out the window.
Let's roll dodge as your reflex for that, just to simplify it.
God. I like it.
You take 5 damage from this, by the way.
Oh, he actually got off a little luckier than I expected.
Yeah, I thought that was going to hurt him.
I got 6 points for getting shot in the shoulder. He gets thrown out of a car.
I mean, his flailing apparently helped a lot. I just rolled really, I rolled, not great.
Well, there's another way to think of this, everyone. Because remember, Godpool said he hit us on the left side. Gene would have been on the right side. So yeah, he's getting thrown out of the car, but he doesn't take the initial impact.
Yeah, and you guys are not going as fast as the car behind you. So the force isn't the exact... the force for the guys in the other car is not the same force Gene is getting propelled by.
Oh, just wait till it's my turn again.
Yeah.
I'm still in a psycho break here, so don't worry. I've got my next action plan.
Richard was pretty much prepared for this, but everyone else takes a point of damage from this because this hurts.
Ow! With my 2, I was fine.
Gene, Richard is at 1 point. But yes, the crash itself, it pushed the car forward a few feet, and the backside of the car is you can still drive, but the backside of the car is totally fucked. The right side of the back is totally fucked.
So I want a smartphone from the future to fall out of the heavens, and I can take pictures and send it to our boss and see.
What you want to do is reach in the back and grab my fucking shotgun.
I don't have to. I was just gonna get out of the car and, like, hold the guy at point blank.
It is Gene's turn.
Is it?
Yeah, it is your turn. You're lying on the ground you're lying you rolled off the hood and you're lying on the ground in front of the car just in pain. You don't think you've cracked any ribs, but you're not sure.
So, do I have to spend my turn sort of getting my shit back together, or can I actually...
I mean, tell me what you want to do and I'll tell you if you can do it.
I want to walk to the back of the car, grab the driver, and go, "Who the fuck are you?" and then pound his head into the trunk.
So so what happens is you stand up with kind of difficulty and you just kind of start limping towards the other car, towards where the driver is on the at the backside, and you just kind of, as you he's on the back, he's on where the what's the... Why can't I remember the name of this? He's just lying kind of up against the car, and when you try to you try to move him, he just he is dead. He is very dead. You pull him, and you just feel when you try to pull him, all the bones, and his skull is fractured to bits, and his just shoulder and most of his right of the left side of his body is just in shambles. Where he hit the car it's dented as fuck. But it is Leslie's turn.
All right.
Leslie sees Gene just kind of pull this very dead guy off the back of the car.
So is that the back of our car?
Yes,
or
the back of your car. This is the driver of the car that was following you.
All right, I go to the other guy then.
Yeah, he is lying on the ground, seemingly motionless.
I check for pulse, eye movement, that sort of thing.
He seems to be alive.
All right, great. I'm gonna handcuff him.
You cuff him.
Yep.
All right.
I go back to the car, get our handcuffs from the trunk, and I cuff him.
Oh, so you go back to get the cuffs and everything. Okay. So as you're doing that,
behind his back.
yeah. So as you're walking back towards the car, you're getting shot at again.
I wouldn't do that if he had a gun in his hand.
It's not the guy that flew out the window. It's the guy that was sitting behind the driver.
Oh, shit.
He was the one that was shooting at you.
Right, do I get to roll dodge?
Yes, you do.
It's not very helpful considering how poor my dodge is.
You rolled a 2 earlier. You did succeed.
I'm okay.
All right. So I wanna know how good this is. I rolled a 0.8. But because you succeeded your dodge, you do not get shot. You're walking back you're walking back towards the car, and you hear just a gunshot, and you kind of duck out of the way instinctively, and you feel the bullet graze your cheek as you duck out of the way.
So pissed. So pissed. I'm on the ground. I definitely get into a crouched position where I can shoot at.
Yeah. You can see the guy, now that you're looking at the car, you can see the guy. He's hiding behind the driver's seat, kind of just with his right arm out shooting.
Can I shoot at him?
Yes, you can. When it is time for you to do things again, because it's Richard who hears more gunshots.
All right. When Jean flew out the window, is my car or my gun still in the car?
It really depends on whether or not Jean let go of it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
just-
let go of it.
Yeah, it's lying on the
I would
floor.
let go of it and trying to like get some purchase somewhere else.
Yeah, it is somewhere on the floor in the back seat, like behind the driver's seat in the passenger seats.
Hey, can I just make kind of a luck roll to see if it's actually within very reachable, grabbable, so I can jump out the car and start firing?
Yes, you can.
All right, this is just to see. If not, then I'm obviously spending my action to get my gun. There it is.
Hey! The gun, as you go to look for your gun, you see that it's surprisingly kind of stuck between the seat that Leslie was sitting in and your seat. It's just like kind of there.
I'm reaching for it as I'm opening my, driver's side door.
It's kind of like
slamming
it's kind of like pulling it just from your holster normally when you pull it up.
Right. So, with my left hand, I'm reaching I'm opening the door, grabbing the gun, and diving outside to land on my shoulder and start firing at the other car.
All right. Roll acrobatics. Wait, no, that's not the right game. No, you. So you roll out. So you roll out, take cover, and you shoot. Roll to hit. You have 51 to hit with it.
Shot.
He is in cover, however, that will give him some, defenses.
Okay.
Alright, so you see you fire at the assailant in the other car, and you see the bullet kind of hit into the seat. No, you're shooting from the other side, so it hits into the door of the car, but it seems to go through, and the guy kind of recoils. He will take a D5 plus 1 instead of the full damage because it just went through the door.
Okay. So just roll a D10 and divide it by 2 plus
Yeah. Just divide the result by 2.
Helen, you don't have D5s just sitting around?
1. Right.
God, Kellen.
All right, so 4.
Yeah, so, alright. Yeah, he seems to be, kind of just gets shot, and you would expect it's probably hitting him somewhere underneath the arm, so you're seeing kind of recoil back, kind of trying to hide a bit away.
My biggest thing here is I'm trying to provide, covering fire. I know he's shooting at Leslie and Jean, who are both outside, so I'm trying to make it where it's harder for him to do anything by just emptying my gun at it and give them a chance to move or do whatever.
All right.
That's my entire purpose here.
So you can continue shooting. Most of you can use you're continuously shooting, and you will use up your clip basically during this. But that one shot is the only one that actually hit. But you will.
No.
But you will give them. But you will give them covering fire.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's
so you want to? Okay, you can shoot 3 shots, and
yeah.
He seems to be at least cowering from it.
Right. Okay. Pass turn.
All right, Jean, it's your turn. You heard the shot, and you kind of ducked a little bit when you heard it. You see where the shooting is coming from.
I duck back to the car to retrieve my shotgun.
Alright, so so if you want to retrieve your shotgun, you can do that, but you'd have to go over the hood of the other car, because it's kind of stuck in the back of your car. But you can easily get, or do you want to go into the car and retrieve it from the back seat there?
I would go into the car and retrieve it from the back seat.
Okay, you can do that.
That should be 2 steps back to the back door.
Yeah, it takes no time. You're very close to it.
Right. Can I then fire at the guy in the back seat?
Yes, you can.
Okay, then I will. Die, motherfucker. Nope.
Ouch.
Oh. So you pull up the gun, and you're like still hurting, and you shoot, and you just lose your footing, and you miss. The shot goes wide up, and you just fall backwards, and you're lying on the ground, and you're just like your ribs hurt a lot. What is the shotgun you're using? Let's see.
I don't remember.
Oh, we don't have that information written down. I'm pretty sure it's probably a 12 gauge. It has 2 barrels, so you can shoot both off at the same time, but...
Sure, I'll take another roll. That one also misses.
Not nearly as bad, though.
Hey, and to be fair, it's a shotgun. That's a wide shot, so if anything, it's providing the same sort of effect I was going for.
So you fall down, but so it's a double barrel shotgun that you're using.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna write down here real quick what it does. It's a 12 gauge. It's a and 1. And the ranges for it is you're close enough to it to the dude to not have to worry about doing any less than 4d6 damage.
Okay.
But if you move any further away, you will do the mid range one.
Hey, Godpool, I got a quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about this. The guy that's shooting the gun, is it rapid fire or single shot?
It's a single shot.
Okay, so it's probably a pistol. Gotcha.
Does my
Alright.
shotgun at least fuck up the windshield or whatever glass is in between me and...
I mean, there's very little left of that windshield. It got...
Okay.
The guy that went through it kind of took the windshield with him.
Right, this is before tempered glass was a thing.
Yep. But yes, it is now Leslie. Leslie, it is your time to do things. It's your time to shine.
Can I roll a psychology before I take my action?
Yes?
Because I want to see if I could get the guy who's shooting at me or shooting at us to stop shooting if I can get his buddy up and show that I'm holding a gun to his head.
All right. So you want to move? So you want to check whether or not he would stop.
Yeah, that's what that's the why I want to roll the psychology.
All right. Go for it.
Ouch!
You take a moment to think, and you think that's a bad idea. He's shooting at me real hard. You don't getting shot at and dealing with the pain in your shoulder and everything. Your mind just does not keep clear enough to actually just properly process this information.
I'm gonna shoot at him.
All right.
That's a hard success.
Yep, and you do hit him. He does not manage to dodge out of your way.
How much damage do I do to him?
Leslie Hart, you have a piston. Guessing that's supposed to be a pistol.
Yeah. No, I have
a piston.
I have a piston.
I have a piston. You'd probably have the same gun Kellen has.
A 1911. Yeah. Oh yeah, war buddies right here.
We'll do a fist bump later.
Yeah, when you're not dying.
I'm a little bit bleedy out of the neck right now. And out of my mind at the moment.
Alright, Richard, get there. Jean... Trying to find Leslie. There you are. Alright. That's that. And 1 and 7 there.
Oh, did you need the damage for my gun?
Yeah, so you roll 1d10 plus 2.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't even thinking.
Shit. Only 6.
Only 6. You take a shot and you see the bullet kind of go through the seat and into him, and he's just kind of recoils back. He doesn't seem to be completely out for the count, but he looks really bad, and not just because he's ugly.
Oh.
Nah, I'm joking. Or am I?
Leslie's like, I never fuck that guy.
That guy not my type. Alright, there. That's the information I needed. 8. Alright. So yeah, you see the guy, and he obviously is not having a good time right now.
But he's still shooting.
He is not dead. He aims at you one more time, Leslie.
Do I get to dodge again?
Yes, you do. But you don't need to, as the shot is very wide and just hits your car, kind of just next to you. Kind of you just kind of like duck away from like the sparks that like pop when it hits the car, but other than that, you're pretty fine. Let's see. He is not in a happy place, this guy. He's shooting with this. Actually, he can do that. You see him kind of falter, and he just aims his pistol now towards the. He can't see Jean, but he aims it towards where he can see Richard, and he does fire 2 shots. And this does not hit. Oh boy. And you hear like the first shot just flies past Richard, and the second one you see him about to shoot, and it just click. The gun jammed. I rolled 100.
My turn?
It is your turn. And now, Richard, you see him just look at the gun and just kind of hit it.
So, with a very wild, crazy look in my eyes, I rush his car. And I want to open the door, and I'm basically going to say, "Come here, you Nazi son of a bitch!" And I, reaching in there to like yank him out of the car and start beating his ass.
All right, you yank him out of the car, and you just
pistol whip.
You go wild. You don't even need to roll to hit or anything like that, because you're just on top of this guy. Now, you just whip him with the pistol, and he seems to like struggle for a moment, and as you're about to whip him, you notice something strange, or do you? Roll spot hidden.
Oh, and just to let you know, depending on how this all works out, I'm gonna be yelling things like, "Shoot my soldiers, you son of a bitch! I won't let this happen again!" And that's the kind of stuff coming out my mouth. Okay. Spot hidden.
Yes.
21.
Can I roll a psychology on Richard?
Yes, you can, because technically seeing what was happening is over, so we don't need to be in the rounds anymore. But yeah, Richard, you just hit this motherfucker, and you just don't stop. The guy stops struggling very soon after you start beating him.
Now, I didn't say I was going for lethal, but I'm not exactly holding back either, so that's going to be a matter of who stops me.
I mean, This guy had 1 hit point left when you started to beat the shit out of him.
So
Okay.
I would I got a hard success. So I'd rush over to Richard and try to get him to stop beating the shit out of this guy.
So I just want you to roll grapple because he seems to be like unreasonable right now.
That's probably like a 10.
Yeah. Can I so I'm not trying, can I, instead of trying to overpower him, could I persuade him?
Yes, you could. And since you do know his mental state, I will allow you to get like a +10 on it.
Can I roll again? Because I just rolled 186.
Yeah, I mean you failed incredibly badly.
That's
Yep.
better.
That's a lot better.
That's better.
You double failed.
So I say to Richard, you can't kill him. We need answers. So I am touching Richard, reassuring him that I'm fine, that Jean's fine. What we really need right now is answers.
I'm searching dead guy for a wallet.
I want you. Kellen, I want you. Richard, I want you to roll a sanity, but add a +20 to it because Leslie's helping you out. Leslie is like calming you down, saying some reasonable things.
No, absolutely. Hey,
Hey!
I'm just, I'm sitting there breathing really hard. I've got my arm cocked back again.
So
But I'm
if
still-
I think that he's still in soldier mode, I'd be more than willing.
Soldier mold.
I'd give him orders. I say, can you go get the handcuffs?
And I open my hand and let him drop to the ground and holster my pistol. And I just kind of walk over to get handcuffs. Don't say anything.
I do a check to see if this guy's dead or just like passed out.
He is very dead. You do not need to be an expert to see that. Part of it is just like Richard seemed to have gone just ballistic on him with his pistol and bashed in a part of his skull.
All right, then can I do a
No, you can't do a medicine roll on that.
I want to do a necromancy roll. See if I can bring him back.
Go for it.
No, can I do a spot hidden?
Mm-hmm. Gene, you can also you're searching for a wallet on the other guy. Roll spot hidden just to see if you find anything else.
Where's my spot?
You have 28.
Yeah, I didn't see nothing.
I didn't either.
They don't seem to have anything on them, not ID or anything like that. They seem to have just been wearing plain. They seem to be wearing very plain suits, just black and white, and they seem to just not have. You do recognize the faces of these guys, however mangled they are. They seem to have. You can't really place exactly where you've seen them, however, because they are that mangled.
So I go back to the second guy. Is he alive?
Very barely, yes.
All right, then I would attempt to
Wrong game.
well, do like a medicine check. See if like he's got broken ribs, if he's asphyxiating, stuff like that.
He seems to not have like suffered any like critical like injuries that are like life-threatening at the moment. Doesn't seem to. But roll for me a first aid to see whether or not like there's anything that you can tell.
I don't think so.
You don't notice anything that stands out. At least seems to at least still like be fine. You don't notice any internal bleeding or anything like that.
I checked the car for registration.
Seems like the car has been stripped of like anything really. The car that's been that was following you is just completely black with no like with no license plates. When you look through the car, at least at a cursory glance, you find nothing. It doesn't seem to have been anything extra in the car.
Has the VIN been destroyed?
Has the
vehicle identification number should be etched into the car itself, onto the car
Yeah.
Into the engine, right?
I think it's on the engine block in one of the doors or something like that.
There isn't. It's on the engine block. It's on those older cars. It's like often a plate that's put there. The plate has been taken off.
Well, someone's fucked. I think that's also highly.
Yeah, I don't think that they were doing legal shit.
This is Gene. I'm gonna get those fuckers on the paperwork.
What, not with trying to kill 3 FBI agents?
I like the insult. I like adding the insult to the end.
So, I'd get the survivor in a sitting up position.
Alright.
You want to take care of Kellen? Or Richard?
I don't know, I think your first aid is better than mine.
Is it?
Yeah, like
I have a
Richard arrives like still holding his neck, which is bleeding as he hands you the handcuffs.
Alright, I will handcuff this guy behind his back and then I'll do a first aid on Richard. Ouch!
Hold on. Let me
slap Leslie's hand away.
Nope, I'm gonna turn the
I slap both their
hands.
hands away.
So, as both of they arrive, like attempt to help you, you're kind of they've helped you before, so you trust your soldiers, so you let them do their work. They retrieve a first aid kit from the car, and they start to kind of work on fixing, like kind of cleaning your wound. However, like as Leslie is about to like pour some of the like alcohol that they use to clean the wound, like they're like for some reason Leslie is just holding it like next to your throat, like next to the wound, and just drops the like cloth and just drops the bottle and just spills it all over your throat. And it just hurts like hell. And as when Gene comes to try to fix it, he grabs the cloth and just like kind of pats it a lot harder than he needs to. And he's just like patting it, and it hurts a lot. And you take an extra point of damage because Gene's just beating the shit out of your wound.
Yay!
You both failed miserably at this.
So that puts me at that +2.
Yeah, you're not at a great spot.
Alright, I'm gonna use my luck to re-roll.
So what you're saying is we need to subtitle this game Richard Goes to the Hospital.
Your luck is is fucking 60. So you just failed that.
Can I slap hands? I want to slap people away.
I mean, you trust these people, don't you? They're your soldiers, right?
Oops.
I'm debating.
Can you do a first aid on yourself?
That's what I was gonna attempt.
I mean, you see how miserably they failed that, so...
Soldiers
Hey.
just hand. I say soldiers just handle the
Could
prisoner.
happen.
Yeah, and you can try to first aid yourself. It's not great, but you can do it.
I'll try. Succeeded.
God.
And that's actually a hard success.
Yes, and another great
finally
thing
got
about this,
something.
you get to heal yourself a little bit. Let's see.
I get to finally check something, I think, right? On a hard?
No, you need to get a little bit... You need to get a 10 and below.
Whatever, screw it.
Oh, boy.
Well, still, I get to heal a little.
You
I'll take
get health, so you know. That's great.
I'll take it. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Oh, no, don't. So...
Uh-oh.
I'm like, soldiers, this is how you treat.
3%.
So, let's see here.
It's funny, it's my own neck, and I'm sitting there doctoring my own bullet hole neck.
God dang it. Such a lucky guy.
We'll just say that they're
Can I
adrenaline.
do first aid on
So,
my
you can roll a 1d3 and you can restore that many hit points to yourself. But you can only do this once. Until like this takes only once per injury. So you heal yourself by 1.
Well, okay, at least I'm back to where Gene decided to mutilate my neck. Nothing.
What you say about me? Nothing, Gene. Nothing. Don't hurt
Good
me no
boy.
more.
And I go to also help out Leslie's shoulder. Might as well.
So yeah, you can roll.
I succeeded.
Oh, just on the mark. So yeah, Leslie gets also 1d3.
Sweet.
And then I'll once Leslie does his, I will check on Gene's bruises and all that stuff.
You're not touching my ass, boy.
Alright, so, because I'm a very nice guy, because I don't think you would ever have gone unconscious from somebody touching your neck. So when you go into the plus numbers, that you fall unconscious.
Okay.
But I did not think it was appropriate with what was happening, that you would fall unconscious from getting slapped on the neck.
So I get half a point.
I don't know, if you were that fucked up, I could...
You get 1 point. You get 1 health back, so you should be at 9.
And as soon as Gene says you're not touching it's touching your ass?
Yeah.
Soldier, you're injured. Let me look you over.
Worry about me when we get back to town. You two are a lot more screwed up than I am.
We're not going back to town. We still have an investigation to conduct.
An investigation. Like, investigate. And I start, like, my cloudy mind just kind of come back.
Yeah, your mind starts to kind of, like, clear up, and you start to kind of get a hold of yourself again.
Wait, you're MI?
We need an
Military
investigation into who put a bullet wound in both of my people.
I point at the guy who's still alive. We can ask him when he wakes up.
Which, as you do, you start to hear, like...
So what I would like to do is handcuff him to the other 2 dead guys.
Oh, no, don't do... No.
And file them all into the back of the car.
So they're sharing seats with Gene. So as he wakes up, however, he's still sitting on the ground, handcuffed with his hands behind his back, and when he wakes up, he just stares blankly forward.
No, I'm gonna stop you from doing that. You and Richard are obviously compromised. Guys, take 5.
My sanity is fine. I haven't had to roll sanity today.
You were about to handcuff a guy to 2 dead guys.
Yep. We need to get them all back to the town.
And it's actually coming to my head right now. Godpool. I know we're on a highway, but does there appear to be any houses nearby?
That's no, not. Let's see. I'm gonna be a little bit sure here.
Houses, or did we pass a gas station anywhere within a mile or something like that? Basically, I'm looking for a phone because it's coming to my head like, we need an ambulance.
I'm leaving
You would know that you passed the house quite a while ago. So like, there's a on the map. There's a place called Keck's Corner. There's a house there, close by. Let's see, somewhere just past there. But that's the only house you know of. But that's like
time-wise, how far away is the nearest house
Or gas station or anything.
or anything?
That would be the nearest one would be like about a half hour away. I get back where you stopped at the truck station, and the other one would be just if you drive for like what would seem to be like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you two here and take our car and go. Is that good with everyone?
You're gonna go
Gives a
back.
thumbs up from me.
You're both shot. I don't want to move you, but I'm definitely leaving you armed if round 2 shows up.
Alright, so where are you going? You're heading to the gas station behind you?
Uh-huh.
Alright.
Shotgun sit in the passenger seat.
Alright.
And I'm making sure that they have all the guns and ammo, and I'm assuming that they have stripped the guns and ammo out of the other guys.
Yes, they had the guy. They had all like just basic, like 6 shooters.
Okay.
2 of them are fully loaded. One of them is jammed.
Huh?
And that's
What
the
was
one that one of the 6 shooters is jammed.
I make very clear to both of them before I leave that if the one that's alive is dead, it will come out of both of their hides.
But what if it's not my fault? And I go to the alive guy and I poke around his mouth looking for like a cyanide capsule.
So when you go look around his face, you notice something interesting about his eyes because you're in his face. They
Right.
seem to be milked over.
Is it like he's dead?
It's kind of like he's blind.
I assume there's like a little flashlight.
There's a big flashlight in the car.
No, I'm looking for like a little flashlight I can shine, see if
You have a
I-
pen light, remember?
Oh yes, I have my pen light. So I use my pen light to try and like get see if his eyes will follow the light.
All right. I'm guessing at this point Gene is driving off, right?
Yeah, I'm gone at this point.
So as you start shining the light in his eyes, you just kind of see him like immediately like perk up to where you are and like just try to take a bite at you as he kind of starts to froth around the mouth. Oh, and he just barely manages to bite you.
I
Do you
can't
get a
roll.
dodge?
Oh wait, no, it's
Hold
like a headbutt. So no, he does not. He does not hit you. He just like takes a snap at you, and he's just as if he's trying to just like still snap at you when you like back away, and he's just frothing at the mouth.
And that's a boot to the head.
And
Not
he
too
just
hard, just
yeah, and you just start hearing like this uncomfortable, like, shrieking sound as he's snapping at you. Like,
So I'm gonna back up and I won't let Richard near him because I'm like he could be sick. I
Yeah.
want to see if either of the corpses' eyes are clouded over like this.
The guy that hit really hard into the back of your car, his eyes popped when he hit your car, so there's nothing to see there. But the other guy, yes, his eyes seem to be clouded as well. Richard, you're as Leslie's looking at the other guy, at the dead guys, you can see this, like, just the veins of this guy start to bulge. Like, he's just starting to turn red and just frothing, and just his veins are starting to become more and more noticeable.
Hey, medical expert? Doc.
I'm not that kind of doctor. I have a
Whatever.
PhD.
Leslie, the veins, red, bulging.
All right, I'll come running. I assume I see this as well.
You see the man just kind of, like, just struggling against his restraints. Like, he is facing towards where you are, frothing at the mouth, snapping, shrieking, and just he's turning completely red, and his veins are just, like, pumping and just bulging.
There's not any morphine in the first aid kit, is there?
No.
Oh, I was actually offhandedly saying that to Leslie.
Oh.
Nah.
In case Leslie needs to no.
It's like, it's like, I'm pretty sure there isn't a sedative. And I said does this look like rabies?
You would have to roll medicine for that?
Do we know rabies? I guess we would at this point.
Probably.
I honestly don't remember rabies.
I know that that's not how humans behave when they have rabies, but that's how animals look when they've got rabies. Can I do like a general medicine check, see what this...
Yeah, you can do a medicine check to try to figure it out. No, you do not know what this is.
Oh no, you called Richard.
No.
I mean, it's about time. Leslie has, overall, this entire campaign has been rolling amazing.
Yeah, this is the one game where I'm rolling shit. I turn to Richard and I say, "Can you knock him out before he does himself an injury?"
All right. And
Yeah, don't kill him. Just like knock him upside the head. Just hard enough to knock him out.
luckily, I'm actually a martial artist, so I go for a punch to the chin.
Alright, I'm gonna roll for his dodge. She does not succeed at all.
He's laying on the ground. That should be a disadvantage or something.
I mean, he's sitting, and it was pretty easy to hit him, but yeah. So, I mean, you managed to knock him out.
Oh, I was okay. I didn't know if I had to roll or not.
I mean, he doesn't even like. Actually, yes, you need to roll actually to hit him.
So,
I know that he will. I know that he will not dodge it, but you do not hit his unstable body.
What I imagine happened there is I was a little nervous, say he snapped at me, and so I backed up before I got a full swing in. So I'm just gonna swing until I smack the chin.
Well, he does not dodge your second attempt. That's for sure.
I'm getting closer.
Pull your punch.
I'm pulling it. It's just this is my punch. That's literally punch. 50% is what it says, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. It's just constantly snapping. It's like, ugh.
This guy's starting to freak you out a little bit.
Hey.
I have hand to hand. I'll push Richard out of the way.
I have it too. It's just not rolling. Whatever.
Yeah.
Let me double check. I think that might be a 6.
Hold on to stuff. far.
I mean, if anything, I would just sit there, get in
I
a stance.
succeeded.
Oh wow, you actually put some points into that. All right.
So you smack him like in the neck, and he just kind of goes limp.
All right.
I forgot we put sexiest please on your character sheet.
I'm gonna point out that you did that because I am not an Austin Powers fan. I mean, it's fine, but
Let's see.
not really my thing.
You knock him out, and he seems to kind of lull out for a while, but you're pretty sure, like, you're not sure how long that's gonna stay.
All
How
right,
long he's gonna
can we-
stay chill.
Wait, I have an idea, real quick. He's knocked out. I take my belt off and gag him.
Actually, can we like force some liquor into him first? Try and get him inebriated.
I pull out my flask, down the hatch, and then I gag him.
No,
So you
let him
just-
swallow first.
Fucking force it down his throat. When you're doing that, like his gag reflexes. No, he wouldn't get gag reflexes unless you're like just forcing it down his throat violently.
No, I'm pouring. You know, I'm just kind of pouring. It's a flask. It doesn't come out fast
Yeah.
anyway, so it's gonna trickle.
And yeah, you just pour like all of your flask into him, and you just use the belt to gag him.
Not all my flasks. One to grow on and take my own swig.
Yeah, and you wait a while until he starts to awaken again, and kind of immediately starts to kind of just blanketly stare forward, just like before.
There we go. All right, I've done my part. I'm gonna go back and take a nap. I'm a little bleedy.
Where are you gonna take a nap, in the dead guy car?
In the dead guy.
There is
Nice.
a perfectly good patch of grass right over there, Leslie. Off the highway, and I'm just gonna go just sit comfortably for a bit. Let me know if anything blows up while I'm away.
So you just you head to the grass, and you just kind of lie down at the side of the road. This looks like a pretty bad car crash with one of the cars missing. So Gene, you drive for like. Is there anything you want to do while you're driving? It's a very peaceful drive compared to what you've just gone through.
Nope, I'm driving.
All right.
He's swearing. He's like,
There's
"Mother-"
lots of swearing. There's lots of. I'm sure somehow this is Horrell's fault.
Who is dead?
Walking up from the grave.
Maybe those symbols would look nice around my closet door frame.
Oh yeah, because you have the coin in your pocket, and it is constantly on your mind. Now, Leslie, is there anything special you want to do with the guy after he woke up?
Like if he wakes up, like quote unquote normal.
He seems to be just staring forward, like blankly, without like, kind of not registering you, Richard, or anything. Similar to how he was before you shined the light in his eyes. Seems to be drooling profusely, though.
Is it just drool or is it foam?
Looks like drool right now, at least. He's not foaming at the mouth right now.
I don't know, if you stuck a rag in my mouth, I'd probably start drooling like an idiot, too.
Right. I'd probably ungag him.
So as you ungag him, he kind of darts and looks at you as you take the gag off. And you just look at him bite his tongue off. Like full force. You hear his teeth just break at the impact as well.
I shove the gag back in his mouth.
Yeah. He is bleeding profusely and just the teeth are shattered. You shove the belt kind of to act as a gag again, but the act is done. He's bleeding from a lot from his mouth, and the gag.
There's nothing I can do about bleeding from his mouth.
It's very hard to stop someone from bleeding when they bite off their tongue.
I don't think I've ever experienced that. Again, PhD.
Yeah, I want you to roll sanity for me.
That's probably just gross, though.
Alright.
Can't remember what.
You have 54 sanity, so you failed.
I did fail.
So you take a point of sanity damage as you see this man just brutally kill himself by biting off his tongue with such force that his teeth break at the impact. And you, in panic, try to stop it, but it is too late. It does not take him. It does not take too long for him to bleed out.
Really? Is that a thing?
Surprisingly enough, it is. Wait, yeah, I can do this here.
Richard!
Well, guess who just lifted his head up and looked over there? Yeah.
He is dead. Let out.
How'd he do that?
I don't say anything, I just throw up my hands and walk away.
And I'm just like, well, what else is new?
Let's see.
And I get up and I go over there to look.
You see the guy just now with the gag again in his mouth, just leaning and bleeding from the mouth as he just sits there motionless.
Oh, that's impressive. He bit his tongue through the gag. Wow, he had some major strength. I'm glad I gagged him and didn't bite you. Man, imagine if he'd had that gag out, what would have happened? Am I making my point? I'm kidding. I didn't see it. I'm really saying these things, meaning it sincerely, but it's coming across as smarmy. I'm sorry.
No, it's wonderful.
It is great because this is how things would happen.
Well, I guess that's a third witness down. Wonder what happened to the other two. And I whistle and walk away. And I just say, damn Krauts.
Whether or not it's a combination of him biting his tongue off and his injuries, it at least did not seem to take him very long to die from biting off his tongue.
I did point at Leslie and I'm like, hey, there's one positive in this experience. We're still alive. That's good enough for me.
Leslie just starts to think that Gene's not going to be happy when he comes back.
If I'm just mentally preparing myself, if Gene says anything, I'm gonna punch him in the nose.
Oh.
Do. At least we have a witness. Do.
As a quick pause, I have thoroughly enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, this has been fantastic.
It's been full of action and funny and tragic all at once.
This has got to be one of my favorite episodes thus far.
Yep.
I mean, hey, what a better way of doing it than having having everything go your way for like a minute and everything else is just horrible. And I'm counting that minute being the minute you had him alive.
Right.
Not the one before you started driving.
Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from. But hey, I gotta say, I said it out loud, but I gotta say, we're still alive. They're not. We win this round.
I was genuinely worried there for a moment when you got shot in the head that you might die.
Oh, me too. I'm like, well, this is great. I'm out of the game. I literally thought, it's like, well, there goes me.
I rolled 2d8s because, like, I rolled a 0-1, and I thought, like, you know, it makes sense that if you roll this good of a critical, that this shit would happen. But no, you just you got damaged just enough to survive crashing and not fainting.
And not, yeah, exactly, not going unconscious. I was 1 point above it. That is perfect. I enjoyed that scenery in my head.
Yeah.
Of course, and then it triggered me into soldier mode. Sorry, guys. The first thing that came to my head was, okay, this is how it's going to go. I'm going to wreck their car with mine.
I mean,
Perfectly
hey.
fine. I had to throw myself out of the window. I couldn't see it going any other way. Shotgun. Silver tea kettle. No.
So, Gene, you arrive at the gas station. And,
I probably fucked up, don't I?
You look pretty fucked up.
Huh.
You're like you were wearing like a suit, like not a very formal suit, but you were wearing a suit. Like I feel like you were probably wearing like you were wearing the entirety of a suit without like the suit jacket. You were just wearing like a normal, like kind of flannel jacket, some crap. It's like old like an old guy jacket. And that just is all, like, it's, like, in tatters, looks really, like, battered and dirty, and you have cuts and scrapes all over the place.
There's gotta be some nice scuff marks on it.
Yeah.
It definitely ate dirt a bit. There's probably some blood on the sleeve.
Yeah, it is. You look, as the millennials would say it, fucked up.
I'm sure the car actually probably looks more messed up than I do.
Yes, it does. Well, relatively. Like, one part of the car looks extremely messed up and a little bit and pretty bloody. But like the rest of the car, with the exception of of the front windshield and the back windshield, it looks somewhat fine. It's got like 2 bullet holes in it. The car could take a beating. It's got a strong frame.
I'm probably nursing one hell of a limp from eating dirt.
Yeah, and just as you were there like half an hour ago eating, and you see truckers that you saw there when you stopped, like they come out and they like recognize you and see you and they just kind of give you a wide berth. They're kind of freaked out by you. Are you walking with the shotgun or not?
No, I left the shotgun in the car.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
I've got most of my all-togethers there, but I'm really pissed off. The drive helped. It's like an hour out, right? Because it would take 30 minutes to where we're at and 30 minutes back.
Yeah. So yeah, you're walking to the gas station, to the station, and like these guys they're kind of freaked out by you, and they just don't want anything to do with you. So they kind of give you like a wide berth as they like kind of just walk away from you.
I intensely make eye contact and a smile and a wave.
Yeah, that freaks out. Like those guys seem a little bit freaked because they saw this old guy like maybe an hour ago. And he was totally fine then, but now he's fucked up and smiling about it. But you walk into the gas station and you see the the guy that like the cook. He's behind the counter. He's just kind of just putting away stuff, and he like turns back and sees you and goes like, "What the hell happened to you?"
I interject and just go phone. I hold up my hand. I just sort of shake my head like.
He pulls up his phone from behind the counter and places it on top of it. He goes, and he just motions at it, kind of just suggesting you go ahead.
Before I touch the phone, I check my hands to make sure they're not bloody first.
They're not, like, you have a little bit of scrapes on it, but you're not bloody.
Okay. Well, I was thinking, it's like, I would look at my hands, and if they were bloody, I'd look back at the front door I walked in, and it's like, alright, is that now covered in it?
There seems to be, like, the handle is a little bit smudged.
Okay.
But not a lot of blood, like, blood is around.
There's
a little bit of blood, like, trailing, but, like, there would be a little bit of blood trailing behind you if this was more recent, but no.
Yeah.
There
might be a little, like, blood running down my leg, but that would be minor at best.
Yeah. It's like a little bit, there's a little blood with every step you take.
Yeah. And I call up are we still within jurisdiction for the police department we've been working with, or is there another one?
You would be, I think you would still be in the jurisdiction.
We're FBI, we're federal, we can go where we need.
Yeah.
I know, but it's still a crime on state trooper, do I call it into that? Who's going to be first responder sort of thing?
Let's see. Probably,
County.
Probably
a county sheriff.
Yeah, probably a county sheriff. That or like from Bakersfield.
So not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say Baker Street.
Baker Street.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bring Baker Street.
How's it going?
Immediately.
No, I'm gonna make a call directly to the police department and give them the Spark notes. We were driving to go visit to meet with what's his name from the paper on whatever highway we were on, an unmarked call. I give him like the 30-second no registration. All the men didn't have ID, and the VIN was removed. They shot at us. We shot back at them to defend ourselves. 2 of the 3 are dead. Their cars totaled. I drove back to the nearest gas station.
2 of the 3 are dead.
I left my partners who were both, gravely injured. Send an ambulance as well.
Yeah, they will, since this has, well, you got just, when you called, you got just directly connected to Mackenzie.
Yep.
Because, I'm guessing that is what Gene would do.
Sure.
And after you report to him, Mackenzie will, basically let you know that he plans on sending, since since this is technically this is not within the jurisdiction of the police station of LA, but since the FBI is kind of spearheading this investigation, they will just he plans on applying for getting a
jurisdiction for this cluster.
Special jurisdiction for this, and he tells you that he's going to have the local sheriff at least set up the crime scene.
And I ask him if he wants me to head back to the crime scene with the damaged goods, or if you're, because there's no way for him to contact me out there.
Just wait for go back to Leslie and Richard and wait for the sheriff to arrive. When he arrives, if you can patch yourselves up, okay, you should head back to continue your investigation with William Hurst. If this attack on you,
shot in the arm.
If you don't think that it is wise, you should head back. But there might be if the attack on you is connected to your reason, to your trip to Hearst Castle, you might want to check that out before it's late. But from what you tell me, I would suggest at least waiting for the sheriff and possibly receive some proper first aid, which neither of you can get because it's already been applied. As a GM, I'm saying that, but it's.
So I say thanks. I expect your men here in 15. I hang up the phone, pick it up again, call the director of the FBI. Does he pick up?
It rings for a while, and you get. I'm gonna remind myself what his name is because it's all the way up in the top of my note. Hoover's office.
What? What'd you say? Sorry,
Hoover's office. Yeah.
Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover is the FBI director right now.
Oh, sorry, I was looking for the assistant director, the guy I've been working with before.
Oh yeah.
No,
Richardson's office. Richardson's office. It makes sense that you would call him. I was like confused why you were calling Hoover.
Alright, it's been a while since I've had to call him.
Yeah. Richardson's office.
I'm almost that pissed, but I'm not there yet. Richardson, it's Gene. We've been shot again. Barden got shot in the neck. Leslie's been shot in the arm. Figure out what the fuck we're doing here. And then I hang up the phone and yeah.
I'm just gonna write in my notes, he rants about the situation.
Oh no, I don't tell him any other detail. I just tell him my men have been shot again. What the fuck am I doing here?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna change my notes a little bit. He rants about the case.
Yeah.
Are you gonna start heading back?
Yep. I'm gonna raid the not like stick up the place, but I'm gonna grab any like bandages, antiseptic.
Gene pulling up the shotgun from his butt pocket and just like aiming it on everyone. And go like, all right, this is a stick up.
No. So I'm gonna go through and grab any medical supplies that might be useful, and put it on the FBI card and take them with me.
Yeah, you just grab a first aid kit. That's what they would have in this pretty not great store.
I grab all the first aid kits
Yeah, okay. So that's gonna cost you like, let's see. I need to check the book
Bucks?
here. It's gonna cost you like a few bucks.
Okay. It's going on the FBI's dime.
Yeah, but it would go on the FBI's dime, but you'd have to like take the receipt because they would just pay you back.
Okay.
So where were we going by the modern day just to simplify things?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you just like
I have
$20 is a lot of money. You bought all of it.
I bought all of it.
$20 is a lot of money at that time.
Well, I'm gonna buy a bottle of whiskey for Barden if they have one.
So yeah, you just get like you just forked on 40 and
That's
and
a lot of alcohol.
That's a hell of a lot of alcohol.
I mean, hey, he needs to get hella drunk now. No, I'm joking. Well,
Sorry, Leslie. Gene has my heart now.
I'm guessing like I'm talking about both the your 40 for both of the for all of the for the alcohol and for the first aid kits.
And I get my car and I book it double time back.
Yeah, you get like 9 kits and you're like throw it in the back seat and just drive off. Gene buys all the first aid kits. And so what Leslie and Richard, what do you guys want to do before Gene arrives? How do you want to deal with your situation?
I don't even know.
We did search the bodies in the car and everything like that earlier, right? Or you guys did?
Yes.
Okay, I was making sure that was
Now, Richard, you would also find these men strangely familiar. You can't really pinpoint it.
Well, I mean, just a half hour ago they were Nazis to me, so.
You could roll. You guys could roll an intelligence roll if you want to figure it out. Try to see if you can figure it out. Oh wait, no, an idea roll. Just an idea roll. So it's a 75. So Leslie would have to roll a 75.
Alright.
I mean, I got an 85, so 61 on
Yeah.
success.
All right. Before I answer, I'm gonna just take one moment. BRB.
I know exactly who they are.
I'm gonna BRB as well.
Sorry about that. So, Gene and Richard, both of you figure out where you recognize these people from.
Okay.
They were They were reporters at the at Herald Express.
Well then.
You didn't speak to them, but you kind of remembered their faces from the background.
I look at Leslie. I'm like, so when we're on what we feel like is the right trail, we suddenly get attacked by people who are related to the very person we're going to see. I say that's a big clue.
So, I turn to Richard and I say, under no circumstances are we to go in the ambulance to go get checked out. We have to go to Hearst, or else Hearst is going to get tipped off, or Hearst is or he's going to die or something. We're gonna tell Jean that we're not going anywhere.
I look at Leslie for a little bit, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is just a bee sting. Damn bees this time of year, right? January? Oof.
Yeah. He's so cute when he does that.
So, you wait. So
for older guys. No.
By the way, I'm looking a little pale, cause but I'm still going with it.
So you guys wait for Jean to arrive, but before Jean arrives, you see a sheriff's car like roll up,
Flash our badges.
Yeah,
and the sheriff walks out and says, "You them FBI officers that they're reporter here."
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We got a call from your superiors back in Los Angeles. I'll be setting up the crime scene here until while we wait for them to take over the crime scene.
All right.
We were told one of the assailants was alive.
No, he bit off his own tongue and bled to death.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, he was a bit rabid and trying to bite at us. We did what we could to restrain him.
He was foaming at the mouth, so we gagged him and we stood away.
It seems like he was able to bite his tongue before we gagged him in time. And I look at Leslie, and just kind of looked away.
The shit that's going on. Never ever seen anything like that shit. Well, I'm at least gonna be setting up the crime scene. You guys just stick back and relax. He looks at Richard. Just looks like you need it.
Oh, this bee sting. Yeah, just walk away. I'm sticking with it.
Not too long after that, Jean kind of rolls up in the car.
Flash my badge. No, I'm kidding.
FBI, step out of the vehicle. I work with you.
That's my shtick.
Sounds like something a Nazi spy would say. Wait, no, I'm good, Gene. I'm good.
Hold on, you forgot something. I go back to the car and bring him his hat. This one's your stick. That is mine.
I nodded,
What's
Gene.
my stick?
PhD over there.
So, Gene, you do notice it's not like it does not take you a long time to notice that the your last witness is dead.
Oh,
There's
fuck,
a pool. There's like a pool of blood that has formed around him.
He bit off his own tongue.
Yeah, he when he came to, he started trying to bite at us and everything. And
He was
went to
foaming at the mouth.
Richard, what did he bite off his tongue with?
his teeth.
I go over and I check the body.
So when you like examine the mouth, there is a gag very haphazardly put into the mouth, like afterwards, but you see that the teeth have been smashed, and like parts of the tongue are just like stuck in the broken teeth, and the tongue is just lying on the ground in front of the guy.
I pull Richard aside and go, "What the fuck did you do to him?"
Didn't do anything, Gene. The man, we were trying to gag him. He bit his tongue off.
Looked like you smashed his mouth in.
He bit really
How
hard.
did you kick him?
It didn't hit him.
That was literally him biting.
I'm there.
He just like snuck up on you. He didn't hit him. He did not.
Gene,
Oh,
your
hi,
mic's on the
Gene.
wrong-
Your work. It is.
Gene.
The hell did I do leaving you two alone with a living witness?
I do the thing like you see in movies where or TV shows where I grab Gene by the face so that his cheeks are like puckered in. I pull his face towards the dead guy. I'm like, does he seem familiar?
Roll idea. Does it? Yes, it does. He does seem familiar. You've seen this man before. He was in the. He was back at the Herald Express.
Huh? He works for that bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So if we put A and
gotta
B together,
go to Hearst Castle right now.
How
now look at
bad?
Gene.
How bad is Leslie looking right now?
Pretty bad.
I need some electrolytes. That's
I got some medical kits in the back.
So like Richard and Leslie look a little bit pale, but other than that, they seem to be acting somewhat fine.
Okay. I got some medical supplies in the back for you too, if any of that can help you. But still,
Throw them like a first aid kit per person.
There's a couple per person.
Yeah, it's just like here, take three, freaking take 3 of these. Everyone has 3 first aid kits on them, like, on their belts now. Like we are pretty safe.
As a possible luck roll, did Gene happen to think about maybe buying a
Buying a what?
register?
Oh, whoa. Oh, give me a moment. My voice chat is really fricked. I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect. Discord does this from time to time, where it just fucks up everything. Oh, damn. I'd like to be able to connect. There we go. Let's see, I'm gonna do this. Kellen. Yeah, declare shenanigans on Discord.
Hey,
Hey, I can hear people.
Hey, you came back.
Yeah, I was about to just call you on FB.
We're near a good endpoint anyway for today.
Yeah, I just wanted to make the endpoint a bit better than, you know.
Yo, yeah.
Just.
What were we? Who was saying what right before all?
So yeah, what were you say? You were talking about a luck roll, Richard?
Oh, I was trying to say, did Gene manage to just offhandedly grab us some fresh white shirts?
No, but I think I think the dirty look works really well for this part of the story.
Okay, that's fine.
You're called the Dirt Squad now.
No, I came back with like lumberjack.
It's a repeat of the Hawaiian shirt time.
Unfortunately, I don't think they have Hawaiian shirts at the truck stop.
Pure flannel, good buddy.
Brianna! Sorry, she walked away.
Ah.
And by that I mean I killed her.
Leslie Hart, PhD, pretty heckin' dead.
Alright, let's see. So, but yes, you just discovered that, the guys that tried to kill you worked for Herald Express, and, you guys were trying to decide what you were gonna do. Gene, Leslie and Richard wanted to immediately go to Hearst Castle before it's too late.
Okay. I don't like it.
We'll let you say you told us so. If
I
it
told you.
happens.
I told you so.
You have to wait until after something bad happens to say I told you so.
Do you?
I'm fine with a preemptive I told you so. I mean, after all, I'm going in with a very bad bee sting, and I'm highly allergic to bee stings.
Oh, afterward?
Oh.
Do you tell me the bee sting story?
Yeah.
I go over and find one of the 6-shooters, and I push into his chest and go, "There's your fucking bee."
I know, right? I'm allergic to bullets.
Well,
I made sure that Richard gets the large bottle of whiskey.
So as you head back towards the car, I'm guessing Gene's gonna be driving now.
Mm-hmm.
Richard sits in the back, and Leslie takes his seat next to Gene, and you drive off, continuing your journey towards Hearst Castle.
Are they going to let us drive off with likely being evidence of a crime?
we probably need to tell the sheriff exactly why.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that, James. You tell them why.
You would also remember, Gene, Mackenzie told you that, like, you needed to stay at the scene at least until, like, the sheriff arrived to take over the crime scene.
I'm more worried about walking off with the car. Because it makes setting up the crime scene look really fucking weird if the car that did half the damage isn't there.
Alright, you can also ask him, ask the sheriff if you can get his car instead. But you already drove off of this car.
Yeah, I know, but I still feel that I should leave it there. Well, just give me his car.
So you walk up to him and say, how can I help you? How can I help you, Agent?
look, we're following a lead and we have to get somewhere now. I have we've got other guys coming that can relieve you, but can I borrow your car for now? We gotta follow up on something. It's very time sensitive.
Where's this guy's backup, by the way?
Not arrived. He just went to secure the crime scene for you. The other should he should not have to wait very long for the FBI to arrive. So.
Does he give me the car?
He goes, well, if it's a matter of urgency, I guess I can't really object.
Good, thanks, keys.
He hands you the keys and just say, just take my truck.
Thank you, sir. I walk off and grab his truck. Come on, guys, get in.
You grab his truck?
I pick up his truck and put it on my back.
I put it in my pocket. You kind of get, you all sit in the sheriff's truck, kind of take a deep breath as you start heading towards Hearst Castle. The trip there, you kind of sit in relative silence. You talk from time to time, but you're kind of preparing yourselves for whatever awaits you at William Hearst.
I'm still passive-aggressively letting into them for letting the guy die.
Yeah.
You guys had one job.
You all, as you roll up in front of the William Hearst's estate, you take a moment for yourselves as you kind of, again, take a deep breath. And we fade there as you, just before you decide to walk in. You're still sitting in the car. So, well, that's a nice place to stop. Just you're right outside the Hearst estate. You know what? I'm gonna adjust my final lines here a little bit. As you glance at the estate, Richard, you get a familiar sense of dread. While Jean, who very slightly shifts the coin in his pocket, kind of can't help but smirk a little bit, kind of excited about what's about to happen.
I don't want to hear that.
Oh, God,
that's where we fade.
Oh well.
Lovely. That was a good game, guys.
Oh, it's a wonderful game.
That was great.
I was writing down my notes for this, and I ended it with Gene is excited. However, Richard is spooked.
Leslie's right in the middle.
Hey.
Leslie is, like, overall, if you don't count the fact that Leslie got shot and stuff, is, like, as impartial as Leslie could get in this situation.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Gene has the coin, which makes him really excited about certain things, and Richard's been through some shit that, you know, Gene and Leslie kind of did halfway through. They half-assed that part. They half-assed the apartment of Elizabeth Short. Because they didn't go all the way in. But, yeah, this was it's... I always enjoy these sessions a lot, just kind of sitting with you guys playing this. It's one of my reasons why I really like our Sundays.
Yo, it's great. I'm so glad to be doing this again. I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah, I always get sad when we end up, like, having to delay it for a while.
Yep.
Right, so not next week, but the weekend after.
Yeah, the weekend after is we are definitely going to be playing.
So that's the 9th, isn't it?
That should be the 9th. Correcto mundo. Wait, that should be... Yeah, the 9th. The 8th. No, 9th. 9th. God dang it, I'm blind. It's 9th. You're correct.
Modern Horizons pre-release weekend. Sweet.
So yeah, what will happen then? What are your predictions, guys? I want to know what you're predicting.
We're so fucked. No, Hearst is going to be dead and or missing, and his house is going to be like the short apartment.
Interesting.
That's my prediction.
What about you, Gene? Do you have any hard feelings about this?
No, it's gonna go about that well with our luck.
What about you, Kellen?
Seasons don't fear the reaper, nor do the wind, nor the sun and the rain. Richard does not fear the reaper. He's been on death's door this whole time, this whole entire campaign. Let's do it.
I am actually surprised how well Richard has survived some of the things that has happened to him. Because let's be honest, like, he survived an explosion and a pretty serious head wound twice.
Yeah.
And now you get shot in the neck.
Yeah.
Explosion.
You've
Because
got
there's the TV explosion.
TV explosion and the big explosion, both in the same building. Yeah.
Shot neck. Just sanity breaks. 2 of them now.
Richard has had, like, the worst roll luck out of, like, probably, like, not because you haven't, like, rolled, like, not because you rolled a lot of critical fails or anything like that, but you've just rolled, like, so many just barely fails. You just always, like, just barely fail or just fail. And when you succeed, you never, like, succeed in such a way that you get to roll an increase. But there's only one increase this time around. It's the dodge for Leslie, because Leslie managed to roll a 7 on that.
Yep.
It's gotta be.
Damn it, though, I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
If I'm going out like a hero if I can help it.
So, for anybody, for those that have been watching this show, you should definitely check on the next episode where, you know, who knows what's gonna happen. All of us are betting on bad things. Are they gonna survive what's about to happen? Are they gonna die, or are they gonna discover what is truly going on? Well, I guess we'll only have to find out next time. But until then, Thank you all for a sensational time, and we will see you then. I'm Godpool, and with me were Michael as Jean,
Goodbye.
Brienne as Leslie Hart, and Kellen as Richard Barden.
I'll see you in hell.
Oh, they probably have. Bye-bye, guys.